All right, share screen. Desktop. All right. Peter, you see the moon?
I do. Great
Okay,
job.
good. Oh, thank you. Let's see. I'm getting there, Catch. Hang on. Okay. There's the mixed bag standings, 260 entries so far. We are like, I don't know, probably almost 100 entries farther along than we were last year.
Zoom in on the top up there.
What?
Score?
Oh.
41.
It says. I think we need to audit that.
Yes.
We need to outlaw. Outlaw.
That was, yeah, I keep the spreadsheet.
That's where they go.
The whole commission.
Go forward, go forward, go.
Yep, so, but notice that we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The top 5 are all above 20.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Chris Williams is gonna hit 20 tomorrow.
He'll hit it tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going fishing with Chris in New Orleans tomorrow, so he'll hit 20.
He'll pass me up tomorrow.
So with top 6 at 20 or above, I mean, we remember the days in the first 3 years, under 20 won the mixed bag, and then Jerry set a bar much higher than that about what, 4 or 5 years ago, Jerry, when you got to third.
During COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it during COVID?
Yeah. So that was the first time we hit 30. So anyway, yep, so 260 entries. And what's really good is we've got, I mean, look how far down 5 and 6 go. You know, we got 16 people with 5 or more, so.
You know, it would be interesting if since you have a spreadsheet. At the end of the competition, it would be interesting to see like which species are the rarest. In other words, only one of these would caught 2, because what it would do is it would, at least for me, it would challenge me to say, well, I'm gonna go out and try to get one. We were talking earlier in the day, there's a couple of fish that I hadn't caught that, like, if I knew, y'all went, and so maybe you don't want to do, maybe it's just.
You back here, this
This
is
is right here, this is the.
That's a ditch fishing queen.
Red horse and,
And black.
Blacktail red horse.
Yeah, so like, if you know, like, he caught that fish, then I can say, if
Yeah.
you were a gentleman, you would say, well, how did you catch that fish? Where'd you catch it? Where'd you catch
if
it?
you were a gentleman.
He tried to go put on.
I feel like that would be interesting if you.
I do analysis at the Christmas party, I've never emailed it out, but I can, I've like the fly that was the most, you know, the top 5 flies or whatever,
Okay.
top 5 species, and, I mean,
Like-
the spreadsheet's
I
out.
was gonna say, I guess if you could take the time
Download
to look at it.
spreadsheet and look at it, but if you're an Excel person, yeah, you can do that, but I can easily.
That would
do
be-
I think we're gonna have a lot of single one-offs.
Yeah,
Cause your red horse is gonna be a one-off. I don't know if anybody else, I call it.
Yeah, more than one like.
no, the triple tail's gonna be a one-off.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a one-off.
That's
You guys triple
No.
You got
Bill's
two grass
got
here.
Bill, that's a
Yeah,
rare,
grass.
that's a rarity to catch with a conventional rod and reel, which is.
You got triple.
Flower.
Yeah, we have two grass pickerels, Of course,
You might call it flounder.
yeah, flounders are pretty rare, they're hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
You might got a
Yeah.
sheep's head?
Yeah.
You got one?
And Chris got one.
A sheep's head?
Shoot, I thought it did.
No, no.
Shoot.
No, sheep's head, no.
No,
That's the tough one.
Well,
Aaron, are any of yours spots that nobody else has caught?
Yeah, I mean, that, you can, I've read it and watched
Copy
videos.
it, they like crab.
They
Chris.
do. I mean,
Chris.
and you can see them, I mean, it ain't hard
Oh,
to
we
catch.
got blocked.
Chris does, yeah, but we're hoping to have more than one.
I have a flop here. Doesn't count.
Yeah, a little piece of shrimp on
That's
a
it.
small hook, but.
Yeah, but we do,
That's
we do that, we do what waters, what flies, what species, and, then we pick a fish of the year. I pick fish of the year because I give a really good prize, like half-used spool of tippet or something, but. But we pick a fish of the year.
You're a little tippet.
And,
Wait, you take it after the fact?
after the tournament's over,
Oh,
I'll
okay.
pick the fish of the year. That's my, cause I started that before, so I picked it. And Jim would have had it when he had an 8.5 pound shoe pick. But his scale was wrong. It was off by about 3 pounds.
That's qualified.
It would have been a state record shoe pick, yes.
I love those dogs.
That thing's trash now. I can, that thing don't weigh that much.
Yeah, the 52-inch long nose cars.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Okay.
52-inch.
All right, that is the mixed bag catch, so.
And while you're at it, mention some of the prizes we're gonna have for the mixed bag at the.
Yeah, the top 5 as usual will get some kind of the Orbis store is closing, so we might still do Orbis, but it would be mail order, because, I mean, the Orbis stuff is really good, but it was nice with Orbis and Baton Rouge, go down and catch the sales and maximize that. So we used to do pack and paddle, but it got to where, you know, people were telling us, well, there's not a whole lot more I can buy it pack and paddle. So we'll figure that out, Catch. We need to talk about that between now and then.
Okay.
But Jeff is donating a rod. The top 5, they're not in they will be in the rod drawing, but not the door prize. And we usually have 12 to 15 door prizes. So you get, based on the number of tickets you have, you get that many door prize tickets.
No consolation prize.
Yeah, consolation prizes, yeah. Yeah, the door prizes for those.
Separate.
Yeah, consolation prize, mixed bag. And it's usually pretty nice stuff. We, usually have like a reel in there, a lot of string side stuff, you book, so it's some pretty good prizes. And we did all that at Christmas.
Sounds great, Bill. So we have 1 month left
Yeah, the end of November.
in the mixed bag. More fish you catch, the enter, the more tickets you get, right? For the
Yeah,
consolation.
a lot of tickets. Yeah, sure.
You can still win
A lot of tickets.
gift cards or something. Okay. Fly time, since you've got the floor. What's our next fly?
Chris Williams is tying something next month. It's,
November 10th, I have right here.
yeah, I'd have to look it up, put me on, but I don't remember what he's tying. I don't know if Chris is coming, coming down here or whether he's coming, or Tavius, and I'll have to ask him. But it's a small streamer pattern, backstabber or dirty Harry or something like that. Yeah. Aaron just posted another one. I see your post here, Eric. Yellow bass, good. Those are not easy to come across. You call yellow bass and bulo. We didn't even know there were yellow bass and bulo. Catch, you've caught them in Cane River. I've caught them in Sibley. That's the only ones.
Toledo Bend.
Toledo Bend caught yellow bass, yeah. Yeah. All right, Catch. That's, so I don't know if Greg-
I had it, but anyway, I'll post it up on there, on the website. On notes, we have no more fly casting prior to meetings until March of 2026 because of, it's gonna be like this next month.
I'll practice our night fishing.
Huh?
I'll practice our night fishing.
Bring your headlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring the headlight, we'll do it. Okay, but we may do something, I mean, the Red Stick Club, what they're doing is they're having like a Saturday or morning clinic, casting clinic. There's enough people that are interested, I'll do a survey, if there's enough people interested in doing it, we'll try to do it one day between now and Christmas. I know as we get into the end of the year, everything kind of gets tight. And everything, we'll also have casting at the Central Fly Fishing Festival. We'll have a couple of, actually I'll have 3 CIs there. And Jeff Ferguson is the MCI. So it'll be a good chance
What
to
is that?
improve your casting. That is on the 24th, Saturday, January 24th. If you haven't seen the email that I sent out, it had that information. It also had Sugar Day, which is coming up on November 9th at the Kent House. And we have 4 tires that are signed up for that day. If anybody else wants to come out and tie, even if it's just for a couple of hours, that's fine. Hey, Lindsay. You just missed it. We drew for a safe ride and this.
Oh, well. And I won it. right?
But
Hey,
anyway,
check the date on that, Sugar Day, I think it's November the eighth.
yeah, November eighth, you're right, November eighth, I have it right here. Not my reading glasses, I can't read. Okay, but it's November eighth, it's 9 AM to 4 PM. If you just come in time for a couple hours, that's fine. You know, it's a great event for us because we get a lot of people come by. We actually get a few new members every year from that event. And it's fun too, it's really is a fun event out there in-house. The next event past that is our Christmas party. So we don't have any meetings of fly time in the month of December. We have our Christmas party. That's gonna be on Monday, December eighth. It's gonna be at Ricardo's again, 6:30 until 8:30 or so. We have Sam and Jamie to provide live musical entertainment this year again. Yeah, yeah. And of course, we're gonna have all the mixed bag awards, we have door prizes, we have silent auction. We're gonna have a presentation by Tom Zabowski on 30 days in Alaska. So that should be good. My wife is already excited about that. And so is my daughter, so she's probably coming with her husband.
Times again for that catch?
What's that?
Times again
6:30 or 8:30.
on the eighth.
Yeah, we may go past 8:30, but you know, we're targeting 8:30, right, Bill? Okay, so, and that's on the 8th of December, Monday. And then the festival I just announced was on the 24th of January. So I sent an email out with that information. If you didn't get the email, check your spam folders. Make sure you got it. The other thing that's coming up this weekend or next weekend? Yeah, this weekend, Northern Toledo Bend Rendezvous, yeah, Toledo Bend Rendezvous. And that's gonna be at North Toledo Bend State Park. Y'all know where that is? Okay, it's Wally. And it's basically a casual gathering of fly ties from across several states. You know, they come there and they just sit and tie and eat. You know, they use the facilities to sleep and they bring family and everything else. But you can go there just for the day and watch. It's like $10 or something like that. And so I plan to go for Saturday. I can't, stay the weekend, but I plan to go for Saturday only. In case anybody's interested, they can ride with me. And then, anything else I'm missing?
That's the fly for November. The Scrambler, it's a Space Coast fly. It's the same guy that designed the neon icon that we tried a couple months ago. That's our November fly. Chris is doing it. Should be fun. Looks like
Yeah, actually,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I picked up a couple of those from Sam
Mhm.
and I fished them and they were great on bass back in the spring.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
don't know
not just,
what
not just a
color
saltwater
scheme.
fly, it's a
Yeah.
great bass fly too.
Well, the neon icon and the black and green that we tied, I caught quite a few out of Full River with it. Goo, white bass. So, yeah, it works well.
So that's our fly for November 10th. All right. We're taking program suggestions for 2026. I'm gonna send out a survey to the membership. See what you guys are interested in as far as programs for the upcoming year. I know, we looked at some of the programs we did, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Maybe try to repeat some of those because we have a lot of people here that weren't here 5, 6, 7 years ago. And so, and even for those of us that have a little dementia, we get to hear the first time all over again, right? So, yeah, we'll have a few of those programs, but certainly, we're open to any suggestions whatsoever. I know there's a lot of great topics out there, probably 100 or so that we could address, but we have 10 meetings during the year where we have programs. So the April meeting is always our spring picnic. In December, we have no meeting, so we'll try to do that. Fishing reports. Oh, that sounds.
I got a fishing report, but also, I don't know if y'all are following what's going on in Arkansas with the fishing regulations. But the, main hatchery in North Florida, on the North Florida River, it's a federal fish hatchery, produces 3.5 million fish a year, is down to 10% capacity. They had a water quality issue, is what they put out, that was killing 10,000 fish a day. So they had, you know, they may have 200,000 fish left, okay? The hatchery at Mammoth Springs, where Little Missouri gets its fish, or gets 60% of its fish, had a flood back in the spring, and it's down to 50% capacity there. So the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, maybe two and a half, 3 weeks ago, we did, put in a temporary regulation on limits of trout for to take out. So on the White River, from the dam down to North Fork, is no fish, 0 limit.
Catch and release.
Catch and release only.
Okay.
North Fork, catch and release only. From the land in there at the confluence down, you know, further on down, I think you can keep maybe 2 fish a day of certain size. The Little Red River is probably, remember, is it 0 or 2?
I think it's 2. I think it's 2.
But anyway, it's went down from 5, you know, so all, and.
How about Little Missouri?
Huh?
How about Little Missouri?
No mention of Little Missouri. Little Missouri has 0 fish in it right now. No holdover fish that we can tell. Okay, so, there was no mention of that. It wasn't included in the temporary, it's a 4-month temporary regulation. And what, Christy Graham reported to, what they, the Game and Fish Commission approved was a 4-month temporary regulation, and they may extend it another 4 months after when that expires in January or something. So we don't know how it's going to affect us, but most likely they're going to take the fish that they have. They're in an analysis and assessment stage right now, figure out what they're going to do. They haven't put out any information that I'm aware of. But they're probably going to take the fish that they have and feed where they get the most bang for the buck, which is probably the white. And so we may or may not get any fish in the foreseeable future that could be. We may get some. We're scheduled to get fish in October. There's not been any stock so far that I'm aware of, and but probably won't be any stock in the remainder of this year. See what happens in after the first year. So that being said, Carlson and I decided to go to Little Mo last week, and we went up there, cased everything out, and we ended up in Oklahoma at Broken Bow at Lower Mountain Port. Fished 5 or 6 hours over there. We went commuting from my place over there and back, and so that river system is not affected by all this. So
Oklahoma has its own hatcheries.
Yeah.
Now, why couldn't Arkansas say, could you supply to Oklahoma? Could you supply the Little Missouri? Because that's only about an hour and a half.
Well, they may come up with some solution like that. They did make a comment in the report that came out of the Arkansas Game and Fish that they don't know of any sources to buy 3 million fish, 300,000 fish. So.
But they don't stock that many in Little Missouri.
Yeah, no, they don't. But the deal is tourism dollars. Where is the biggest bang for the buck? And it's not the little boat. Okay. So we'll see what happens.
So I guess all that money we pump up there from
Well,
Cosacha's Shreveport clubs.
we should. We should as a group, maybe some of the other fly clubs, maybe the fly fishers, the Gulf Coast Council, we ought to maybe petition for some fish. And see what they say, because, we pool all of our, impact together and say, look, don't forget us down here, we need a stocking. Because our fish are all withered away over the summer.
Yeah, if they would stock and make it catch and release for one
So
season.
no holdovers up there by the dam,
Not now.
in that catch and release area? They normally hold over.
They've been working on the dam and they release some poor water quality out of that, went from bunker valves to open, the first time they opened generators, it killed good. That's what we did. Fish, saltfish, or bait fish.
Oh, because the
Water quality, mud or something?
low oxygen,
Oxygen.
yeah.
Who knows what else, there may be some other kind of contamination in there, I don't know.
No, but typically what happens is that water comes from near the bottom, not necessarily near the bottom, close enough. And if it hadn't been generating any time during the season, you've got epoxy.
Yeah.
in
They
there.
probably had accumulation of a bunch, and they may have, all that work they do inside the dam, they could just have disturbed that bottom.
Yeah.
I don't know how close they got to the bottom, if they stirred that off, they makes it different. They polluted all that. Cause they stopped giving me down. Zero option is water.
Yes, you're wrong, but I think I'll bring it up tomorrow, we have a board meeting for the councils.
Yeah.
You can also talk to Southern Council as well
Yeah.
and see what they,
Nice.
of course, they're gonna support the one in North Arkansas, cause that's, most of the Southern Council is, stationed over there, but definitely we
But it affects us, it affects Freeport, it affects, Texas.
For years, they've been trying to grow smallies in there. Anybody heard anything about how successful or unsuccessful that's been? With no trout there, you've got,
Well, they still run in cold water, so it's not.
smallmouth in there.
Yeah.
Go further down toward Billstown.
Well,
Yeah,
I
good
want some with low water bridge, but
Yeah.
not a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you have to fish from there down.
Yeah.
It's too cold, I think, but small. Other dam and all that for smallmouth.
Yeah.
You'll catch some in the summertime.
Yeah.
When the water temps get up, but.
I was just thinking of an alternate species with the trout being down, They'll be fun to
I'm
catch.
sure they consider all that, maybe. But, anyway, so we're sort of up there as far as our closest cold water fishermen.
Well, that was a nice gloomy fishing report.
Yeah.
I need to go to Oklahoma for our trip.
Well, I didn't, we caught fish in Oklahoma, so there's an alternative, it's only probably 10 miles or 15 miles further,
Yeah,
so that's probably our own.
well, let's see what we can do, if we can get something going, get some fishing a little mode in there. Any other fishing reports?
I did fish the North Fork first of October with Jeff from Spies and Ties.
Yeah.
And, the Eagles were loving it. I mean, as we were fishing, you could see dead trout floating by, and the Eagles were just everywhere.
When was that?
October, like third and fourth.
Yeah, they lost a lot, they dumped a lot of those dying fish,
Into the river?
and maybe some of them survived, and many of them did.
How far north does mixed bag go? Does it cover Pennsylvania? It's got a little brook trout.
The southern does cover White Creek and White River Drainage. Go up there too.
And Missouri, above Arkansas was good fisheries too. I mean, I think the White's gonna be okay, so they got a full river of fish, okay? And if they go to the small catch and release, they're gonna be still catching fish up there in the White.
Yeah.
Well, on a positive note, I did go fishing, didn't see any dead fish.
Yeah.
Fished I don't know what you call it, Yeah, behind the dam, at Toledo Bend, the tailwater of Toledo Bend is what I call it, on the Texas side.
Yeah,
I have a friend of mine at work with who fishes, he lives in that area, he fishes in a little bateau on that part of the, goes to the Sabine. And he catches, he's a good fisherman, and conventional rod, he catches a lot of fish. And so, I've been there before, just waiting, with my fly rod, but I brought my kayak this time, he kind of told me where to water, so I did that, and went in an afternoon, and I was about 8 or 10 spots, and had fun catching, about 2-3 pound, they're all, white bass, that where that flowing, running water is, where it narrows down, that's where I've caught them there like 3 times in one spot, they're always right there, feeding.
That's the
Texas side?
On the Texas side,
Yeah,
and
obviously
it's on the,
They weren't generating.
no, no.
Yeah,
You can't go, you
Yeah,
can't go
yeah,
down
yeah.
generating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
every
know,
time I've
no.
really been generating, I'm like.
yeah, it's.
Yeah, but you can check, you can check all that.
Yeah.
It's really, I won't bring my kayak back, cause you can, what I end up doing is I would fish from the kayak, and then I would beach the kayak and just kind of wade pools and stuff, and then get back in, and then just kind of hit spots, but you can.
It's really a neat area right there.
It's beautiful, but you can
Water's
walk,
clear.
you can walk along the bank and hit all those spots, you really don't need a kayak to do
Is
that.
it on the east side or the west side?
So it's actually the north side, so. If you come on the highway, you pass the tailwater on the Louisiana side. You do not cross the tailwater, you go down the levee, so you're on the, I guess you would call it the
East side.
Louisiana east side.
Right.
And then you go down about a half a mile, and there's one area that it goes down, because it's steep.
Yeah, I've seen.
And you can go down there and it's really tight. And, or you could actually, when I pulled out, I wanted to fish another spot, I went up, because it's about a half a mile from the highway to where that area is, you go down. You can park anywhere along that road and just walk down, you can get back up. But you really don't need a kayak, you could walk over there, and walk off, and it's free, the water's clear, relatively clear.
They've been generating time up there over there.
You know, until the rains come, you can fish it for the next probably couple of weeks, because they haven't been generating.
We're going in Monday. Yeah.
What's that?
We're going Monday, Bears.
Y'all going Monday?
Yeah.
You going Monday morning?
Yeah.
They're going qualified.
About 9? I might go with you.
Okay.
I'll go shoot me a text. But it's you can catch about 3 species of the panfish there. They're almost all long ears in there.
Yeah.
You can catch a ton of those, and then you catch spotted bass, white bass, and a hybrid. I've caught hybrids in there too. I don't know if anybody else has caught anything out there.
Guess you can
No, I hadn't seen any good.
I've seen them.
I gotta give it to you. to catch all the trash fish. I gotta give it to you to catch all the trash fish for the board, man.
I don't have one of the trash fish.
well, I tell you, the last couple of weeks, I've been fishing the Cotillo, the wreck area in the mornings. The bass have been chasing the shad, close to the bank in the morning. Now, I went there this morning, it was foggy, it looked like it'd be ideal conditions, but I didn't see any activity whatsoever. I caught 2 small bass. But, the other day I caught 5 bass, and 2 of them were like 3 pounds. And, I didn't post this on Facebook. Somebody asked me what fly did I use, I didn't post it, but it was bad hair day. That fly really works this time of year. It really is good. So,
When you go through the gate, hotel, do you have to pay?
yeah, but if you go there before 8 o'clock, you don't have to pay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What color scan? Great chargers or white?
No, there's a cannon white, green and white. Yeah. No chartreuse, no chartreuse.
Your fish ready.
Using chartreuse after August.
Well, is that like you can't wear white shoes to go to a wedding after October?
Yeah,
You gotta wear black?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Except in the
some
marsh.
people don't know that.
Except in the marsh, you can still use
You
chartreuse.
fishing in the swimming area there?
Yeah, I'm fishing off the, I tell you, you know that bank that faces the north, where we have our picnic? They go down there, all on there, boat ramp, the docks, and then all the way back, and I have some wading boots. And I go all the way back on the side. Into the-
Back in that cove,
Yeah.
kind of.
So,
Okay.
my kayak rack is not, there's a problem with my kayak rack right now, so I haven't been able to take my kayak up there. But, yeah.
I know that's really, so it's real, it's all rocky.
Okay, any other business, any other mentions or anything else? Okay, then let's get started with the presentation. We have Bill and Robert, y'all gonna do a presentation on our smallmouth program.
Okay, yeah, I've
Okay.
been working at it for weeks.
Weeks.
Where you want me to say?
Over here somewhere.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so we're gonna report today on our smallmouth bass trip that we took back in June. Those are the dates, the 21st and the 2nd. We went to the upper Washita River in Arkansas, and that's near Mena, Arkansas, okay? So, you know, we basically found out about the opportunity to do this with Dwayne Hayda and Todd Ford with the group that spoke to us and did one of our presentations at the Fly Fishing Festival 2 years ago. This is something that they do with groups throughout the year, primarily in the spring and summer, and they do basically anywhere in Arkansas that they have smallmouth bass. They do a lot on Crooked Creek, but for our group, because Washita River is a lot closer than Crooked Creek, we chose to do the Crooked Creek. I mean the Washita River. So we had three people from Washita, Ozark Waters Fly Fishing. That's what Tad's fishing service is called, and they call themselves instructors because this was not a guided fishing trip as you would think of if you hire a guide like we do on the White River and other places. And basically, you have a couple of choices how you want to set up your 2-day event. And so what they typically do, depending on it, you know, your interest, is they do a half a day, usually we all arrived there on a Friday afternoon, Friday night. We had a cabin that we all stayed together in because we only had 8 people or 7 people, and I think the minimum was 8, but they let us do the trip with less than their minimum, and 3 of them. So we all stayed together, and which helped on the cost a little bit. And so our instructors were Tad Ford, which is Dwayne's son-in-law, Dwayne Hayda, and Keith Reeves. Keith is a public school teacher in Fort Smith, I believe. Yeah. In that area, he and his wife both teach music in Fort Smith. So, in our design of our deal, the first night we did fly tying demonstrations. They came, they set up, you know, in a big room that we had. This was an old converted restaurant that we stayed at that had a big room in it and tables and stuff and so forth. So we did some fly tying demonstrations and general discussions about smallmouth, and then we set up our plan for the next day and a half. On the first day, which was Saturday, we divided into 2 groups. One group went on a float fishing trip, and one group went on a wade fishing trip. The second day, which was a half day, it was Sunday morning. We, both groups went, in, wade fishing in two different locations. And we'll tell you more about that when we flip slides here. Okay, so, this was our warm water committee trip. That our warm water committee, Jeff and Jim and I think Bill helped us with it. Put this trip together through our warm water committee at the club here. These are our participants and our, instructors. And, names included up there, and they do have, Tad and Dwayne and Keith in the picture as well.
Yeah, Keith's on the far right, and Tad's next to Robert, and then Dwayne.
Yeah.
And if you don't know Dwayne Hayda, he is like probably one of the most respected smallmouth people in the South. Yeah, he is the man for smallmouth bass.
Yes, very, very, very knowledgeable. Okay, so the waters that we fished, we went there to fish the Washita River, but as usual, hot, rains and high water and muddy water conditions made it where it wasn't easy to fish it. So we ended up looking for tributaries of the Washita, which we did find some that they had contacts for access to. Okay, and if you look at this map here, Mina's up in the upper left corner. The Washita River runs. I don't have a pointer, but you see the blue lines.
Yeah, here's one.
Okay,
All along here,
yeah, it runs all the way over to
up in Odin.
and over to that little reservoir of the big, far right under picture. That's the,
Yeah, I'll use this end because I'm dangerous for this end. Okay, yeah, Washita is here, runs all the way up through Odin and down under Peter, right here on the upper corner of the screen.
yeah, it runs into the Washita River, Hot Springs, west of, Hot Springs.
And then Caddo is all along
Yeah.
here,
Yeah,
all the way down through here.
yeah, and then, so this map shows the, Washita National Forest in green. And if you look, basically every place that we fished was private water, private land. So access, we'll talk about that in a minute, but, what the rules are in Arkansas about access, public access. But, there are public access areas up and down the Washita River between Mina and the lower, we fished on the upper end, around Mina. We didn't get down into, but if you're gonna do a lot of float fishing on the Washita River, you're gonna go further down. That's where all the kayakers and I don't know how many miles it is from Mina to Hot Springs, but maybe 30 or 40 miles. I would think maybe more than that.
Yeah, and all the main Washita was too high to float.
Yeah.
Because it had that 4 or 5 inches of rain the day before we got there.
Yeah, it was, so anyway, because of the high water condition and the water conditions of the Washita River, Keith had gone over the day before or earlier that day to scout it all out, and see what was what, and so we decided to do a float on the Caddo River. Now, I didn't do that, I know Jeff did, Linda did, so y'all can weigh in on what.
Now, y'all put in at Swinging Bridge, is that right?
We put it in Norman. I think we took it out of Swinging Bridge.
Oh, so you put in, was that private put in, you had it?
Oh, no, it's a public boat launch.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
Okay. So they floated that, and we had a couple of guys, with their own kayaks and canoes and whatever, and floated with them. And Bill and I went with Dwayne,
Yeah, we were the only wade fishermen for
and we went to a friend of his who has a big cattle ranch up there, so he had a lot of property that was many different
Yeah, we fished kind of up in
streams and so
up in
forth.
this area right here where the watchtowel is about as wide as this ring.
Yeah, yeah. And we caught fish, we caught fish, both days, all of us did. So we fished Washita River, public access and tributaries, Caddo River, Mountain Fork, and we also fished on the second day, a group of us went over to a tributary of the Mountain Fork River that goes to, Broken Bow to the.
Yeah, Mountain Fork is right here. So here's Mina. We were only
Yeah.
10 minutes out of Mountain Fork.
Yeah.
And it's really close to a town called Hatfield. And if you watch this video, kind of like Hatfields and McCoy's, because the place we fished, the old boy that Dwayne went out there, we drove up and there were these people standing out, overalls, no shirt, dogs in the yard, that kind of stuff. I mean, like real Arkansas backwoods. Just about, we were looking at it,
You slow.
but this is,
At least they're not Dobermans.
and then several dogs came out and we dropped down behind his place to the river, to the mountain.
So you have to have permission to fish a place like that, you just don't drive up to this place.
Oh, yeah.
Park, go fish.
Yeah, the guy that owned this he was upset the day that we were there because somebody killed one of his dogs. I know who done it. I'm gonna go over and take care of him. And I don't know what he's gonna do, but anyway, so you don't go fish there without permission. So that's pretty much, where we fished. So there's your.
Okay, so access to public access to rights to a stream in Arkansas. Okay, prior to 1980, that the laws up there said that you have access to a river that is commercially navigable. Okay, in 1980, the Arkansas Supreme Court ruled that also included recreational activities. So that opened up, a much, many more. So basically, if the river or stream that you're fishing is navigable for recreational use, and not necessarily all year, but some part of the year, and that's not really well defined, then you have a right to wade the stream. You don't have a right to cross adjoining private property. And they can prevent you from doing that, they have to prevent you from doing that, but if you go in at a public access point, you can wade the stream and wade back to it, or float stream to another public takeout point further down the river.
And what I don't really understand though is like the tributary we fished, which was private all the way down to where
Is that Otters Creek?
I
think it might have been either Potters or.
no, that's not the name of the one. You told me not to tell the name of it because.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is that, cause you have, there's four of them that cross right there that go in.
Yeah, but this one didn't have any public access.
No.
He had private access, he hoped, where we went in.
Yeah,
He was
he
kind of
wasn't
nervous when we were going in. He said, let's get away from the road here. Let's, going downstream. But it's navigable. It would be like you could float to it, but you would have to come up from the river. So I don't know if they can.
I think what you have to do is stand on that little bridge, throw your kayak over and jump in.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. But so is it considered navigable if you have to walk up the stream bed to float back down?
Yeah.
I don't
know.
know. I don't really answer that.
But like the highway, like the highway bridges, I don't know if that's highway property
It
or.
depends on whether the right of way where you can get to the river on the
Right,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
Public roads, some of those aren't That could be private roads,
Yeah.
So,
So,
anyway, that's sort of a little bit of insight into that.
all right, now to the fly fishing stuff.
Now, so the typical smallmouth fly fishing equipment that we used and what they recommend is a 5 or 6 weight rod, 100 foot, medium to fast action. Depending on what fly you're trying to throw, really determines what rod weight you need. If you're fishing with a Hager's grit crawler with a large dumbbell eyes on it, don't try to throw it with a foul bait unless you've got a good back cast. In most cases, in a lot of cases, you don't have a back cast. Fish with,
The roll cast, or just like a short Belgian cast or something.
yeah. So, fly line, wakeboard floating lines, leaders and tippet, they recommend long, 12-foot system or longer. I can't cast that. So I'm fishing on probably a 7 or 8 foot
Yeah.
leader.
And I fished about a 10 foot, cause it was homemade, 10 foot with 12-pound fluorocarbon.
They throw streamers on 12-foot leader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, and when we look at the flies, which is the next screen here, like the one I'm passing around is 2 of those. One of them has beat up eyes. That's the one that I caught all my smallmouth on, because I'll show you a picture of, I spent about a week tying all these for the trip and didn't use any of them.
But
Not a single one.
transfer clouds or minnows, what we used, then we didn't have something like that.
And this, and this,
What do you call it?
this is a lunch money, right?
It's like an EP
Oh, yeah,
driver,
this
Bowser.
Just give two
That's the yard.
fiber colors.
That's what I'm.
And
that's what I'm-
the silver is Angelina fiber.
Yeah.
It's just any kind of small plastic work.
Yeah.
And that's what Dwayne tied at night for us during the day. He gave me a couple.
That's the end.
And it's really,
Simple tie.
it is, it's really translucent.
Without bottom, then the flag.
But, basically with smallmouth, with minnows, fish, stuff like that, worms.
Yeah, I think it varies with the time of year, and this is what this time of year he.
Yeah.
Probably doing it.
Health reminds, maybe it wouldn't happen in that water until I throw it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. See, I don't.
And,
Yeah, but this album mic that Jeff has here, he's got heavy eyes on the front, and Keith Reeves, you got these from Keith?
Yeah, I've done all these.
He's really up on this, high on his fly, because it sits like this on the bottom. And you jerk it up and it sits back down like this, so it kind of stands up on the bottom.
He ties it on a Ned hook, what a Ned hook is, the big flat lead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what he's,
still throwing on fishing with like.
It just bounces off the bottom.
yeah.
And now, like throwing, I took a 5-weight. And, but it was a fast 5-weight, and throwing like these clouds, you have to wait to feel that wind bump on the back cast before you go forward again. Or just kind of, if you can water load it inside and throw it, it was, because we were sometimes like, we waded a pretty narrow stream, that the whole tree to tree was about like this room, I guess. And so it's hard to roll cast a weighted clouser on a 9/10 lead. It's really hard to roll cast it.
Impossible to make.
Yep. And retrieve, I know Lindsay got some, Wilbur, I guess, was with you, got some good instruction from Keith on retrieve, and I did too. And, the biggest fish always gets away. But when we went into one of this private stream I was talking about, there was this broad, flat rock that I could see from the top of the bridge. I could see a smallmouth that was this big. I mean, it was huge. But Dwayne said it was probably 18 or 20 inches. It was a big fish. It's big. And so we go down there and we're fishing, and I see it coming down across the slab in front of me in clear water. It's gin clear water about this deep. And so I throw up that clouser out there and strip it back. He's coming. He comes for it. Follows it along, turns and go back to the other way. I'm watching all of this. And so Dwayne, this is kind of like what Keith told you. Dwayne told me, he said, next time when he comes up, stop. Stop your retrieve, let it go to the bottom, and then when he gets up and gets his nose right to it, give it just the tiniest twitch, not with your rod, but just a little twitch. So I did that. He came, sure enough, he came, he stopped, I stopped, gave it a little twitch, I saw the gills flare out and sucked it in. Now, fought it for what, a minute or so, it jumped 6 or 7 times, Dwayne's hollering, keep the tension, I feel like I'm breaking my rod, keep the tension, and then it on the jump, it got to the net a couple times on the jump, it got off, he said, you didn't keep enough tension. That's what he said. I don't know what more, but anyway, so the retrievals on these are, you know, and that's why that clear water up there is so fun to fish in, because most of the time, you see the fish that you're fishing for, and you can kind of work the fish, so it's a lot of fun. And I know, like, when I watched one of Robert's farther downstream, we were fishing a little run, it was probably, I mean, we're standing 6 inches of water, but right there, it was probably 5 or 6 feet deep, but you could see 5. And I could see his fly coming across, and I saw a fish come out of the rock, come and eat his fly. So it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, we had the same thing. I had, I was fishing and I was in his, canoe in the front, which I've never fished in a canoe. I mean, sitting in the very front like this, my legs up, I'm just like, but anyways, casting, you know, to the bank and throwing this big honker out. This lunch month, where's it called? Yard sale. And man, I throw it out there and that fish, big fish come out, same thing, come out right to it. And I couldn't see him, cause you sitting down and he was standing up and he was watching. And he was telling me what to do, and he would come and like I said, he would come and then he would go. And Keith went past that, he paddled back upstream. He said, we're gonna get him, and we kept on, and finally, we came across, and he hit it one time, and I didn't catch it, and then just down below that, that's when I caught the larger fish on the same thing, but the same way, I mean, it was just, he just would not take it, or I just didn't press in it, like, really, but, it's a blast now.
Here's some more flies that Dwayne said bring, so I brought them that I didn't use. So there's a crawfish pattern that Mike has there. This is a white craft fur clouser, just a plain old clouser, except all craft fur instead of bucktail. And that's a craft fur clouser, and he said tie a bunny leech with legs behind the eyes. So I couldn't find the pattern, so we just kind of figured it out, but that's theoretically, that's all, that is a rabbit zone, that's tied with rabbit zone, the dark truths in white. But anything that's like a streamer like that you can kind of just fish low and near the bottom, they seem to.
How'd you work it in the current, Bill?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. Just kind of swing it, and some of the places, it depended, like one of the places Robert and I we were waiting, there was current and then calm, and then fish were in the calm across the way.
Under
Tree. So you just kind of do the best you can, to kind of do a sidearm cast under there and try to lay your line up where you can get a little bit of retrieve. But they didn't seem to be particular about drift that much.
You didn't have to do all the meters.
Yeah, well, it didn't seem particular about that. Now, when we were on the mountain fork, it was huge current. I mean, we were this deep in the water, and it was, well, you were up there, and Chris was up there, and it was not the most fun morning.
Wasn't pleasant.
No, I wouldn't have picked that place.
You were walking that distance.
Oh, I was up to here sometime in the water. Sometimes I was actually swimming as I was wading across. The current would pick me up, and I was actually swimming a little bit.
One of the biggest things about like filming streamers and stuff like that, which I had the problem with, is that when you throw it out, is that you need to be in control of it as soon as it hits the water. I mean, don't let it, huh?
You'll pop it.
Well, yeah, I mean, but if you're throwing it and you let go of it,
Yes.
you don't have a chance. You have to have it in your hand, that's my biggest problem, is I'll throw it and I'll let go out, but you need to have it in your hand.
Yeah, kind of the saltwater trick of a ring, because one of mine on that same place where the deep run was, I cast under that tree, and he literally hit it I mean, instantly hit the water. I mean,
Yeah.
as soon as the splash was done, because they just like
Yeah,
that
he
quick.
said hook for that, but cool.
Yeah, and if you don't have your hand on your line, the
Yeah.
line's laying out and just.
Or even if you have slack in your
Yes,
cast,
exactly, it's slack, I mean, it needs to be.
Yeah.
you're gonna miss a lot of fish. But anyway, it's kind of technical. Here's some of the good parts, some of the fishing we caught. That is a,
Piece of water, that small water's not.
no, that's a stressed out smallmouth. I caught that one.
Oh, really?
The second day. And Keith wanted to net him and get a picture of it, says, hold him. So it took him 5 minutes to get down.
Oh, he was freaking
By the time we got him and got the pictures on it, he was pretty stressed out. And he says they changed from that to that under stress.
Really?
Here, so. And he worked with that fish 10, 15 minutes before we could get him. Stressed out. And those are, you know.
That's that little creek I was mentioning where we're talking about as tree to tree, about as wide as this room, because I was actually on the bank on this side, so you see how small it was.
That's pretty behind the trailer.
No, that's
That's
not, no, that's,
that was
right
right.
down. Right up against, see where that rock ledge comes down, we call 4 or 5 right off that rock ledge, right where that rock ledge comes into the water, he said, he knew, I mean, Dwayne, he cast right over there. But like Robert said, this was not a guided trip, because Dwayne fished ahead of us to make sure there were fish in the water.
Oh, yeah.
He would always catch 2 or 3 out of the whole.
Yeah, if I'm in there, all skinny stuff. They warm
Yeah.
him up for us. Yeah.
He did. And these were the 2 biggest fish of the trip, so that was the second day.
Yeah.
Is that about the size of the bigger one you caught, or was it in that range?
Yeah, it's about that size.
Yeah, yeah. And look at that water, I mean, that's beautiful water, I mean, just gorgeous water. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
that's a
stuff.
feeder creek going into the Washita.
I don't know if we can hear the audio on this because it's, I think it's coming out through my computer, so probably, no, I don't think so. I thought it would come out.
Listen.
I've never fished with anyone that I haven't had to mention this again. You go to cast
You still don't go to
and you
cast.
shoot your line and you usually let go.
You're still not letting go of the
Now,
line.
why? You get there, let it sink down, you wait for him. He's already following it. Watch the tip of the
Actually,
line.
we're at the tip of the fish.
Not very much, you know. It's just.
Say strip, strip, strip. That's it. And then, let me go to the next slide, because it's got,
You guys know.
just a couple, just a few seconds.
Listen.
I've never fished with anyone that I haven't had to mention this again. You
Oh,
go to
that's
cast
the same,
and
same
you shoot your
video.
line, you usually let.
Yeah, here we go. This is Lindsay's. Watch Lindsay here. See,
Gang your
really-
good fish out.
It's a really good.
Always put you can, there you go. That's time
He
to
was
fly.
explaining what all this is. Strip, 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 pause, strip, strip. Like a long strip. Yeah, see that? So a little berry, pause, berry, pause.
Bury those things. I think you should really think. Well, yeah. Okay. So the bounce was caused when the amount of pressure that you
That
put
was
on the rod
pretty big.
cast was greater than the amount of line that you had cleared. So it reaches the end of the line and it's going back. So you've either got to cast.
That's
solid
where Dwayne was, at that one where we had
Have
ours,
line
and so
ready.
don't, and I have the location in my picture, so I knew it.
Your initial, your loading. Yeah, here. That's not in okay, but see there, it bounces back not as much, it still has a lean blade forward. So let a little bit more line out. Now, here you go.
Now, this was the mountain fork right here behind the cabin, behind the Hatfield cabin. And we had to wade those spar trees up there.
Wow.
That's where there was a dam that came across, there was what, 10 feet, I guess. And we fished below that dam. Now you fished, I didn't catch any fish. I watched Dwayne catch 10, standing right across from us, but I didn't catch any. And you caught a couple.
Yeah, I caught a couple. But I got mine before I got up.
like right around that bend right there.
Yeah.
And this video is, see, like I said, I was watching Dwayne catch fish. Yeah.
And very slick.
And Dwayne's a big boy.
Yeah, Dwayne's a big guy. He's, 2 or 3 inches taller than I am and bigger. And he also slipped around and lost. See, this is his iPhone in his pocket right here. He didn't have that, he didn't have that at the end of the day. But he went diving for
But he did get it. They had guys that went and dove for it and got his
it.
phone.
Got it like the next day or something?
Yeah, or something like that, and it worked.
Wow.
Yeah. But, because it could hold tension more, like when the fish would jump, the flex of the fiberglass would keep tension better on the fish, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's why you get offshore fish.
Yeah.
Now we know.
He also sells that as for $200, but it's at the bar.
He does, yeah.
I'm building some 6-weights
Yeah.
just because of that.
So this is, again, that second day, Lindsay and,
What's the water temperature like?
cool, but not cold.
It wasn't, I mean.
I never got cold.
Once you got wet, it was good.
Yeah, comfortable, actually.
No.
No. Oh, and this is one of the better parts of the trip.
Yeah, the food.
This was second night, wasn't it, Jeff? We did your,
Yeah.
I don't know why I have it first, but Jeff's, amazing meatball, like this big around. Yeah, and what was this? It was delicious.
That was awesome.
And it was, let's see, it's some type of, Italian multiple.
It was really good, whatever it was.
What's that on top? Beef, cream cheese.
That's pine nuts on top.
Pine nuts, okay,
Pine nuts on top.
all right, good. And then, but the first night we also had some pretty decent food. Currently.
And I'm gonna buy Kirk here, I need to get the rest of it.
Yeah.
I have to make, so.
Yeah, so anyway, it was, we ate very well, and then we had, of course, good breakfast each morning. And Lindsay, who did lunches?
We did the lunch.
You and who else?
The guy from back.
Phil.
Oh, real quick, yeah. And that, I think that's all we have, but.
And our instructors really enjoy our food.
Yeah.
Big bad deal. Yeah.
But it was a good trip. I don't know if I would, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And I'd like to go back up there and like watch the water, and particularly the washstop, because when Robert and I waited, we actually made it down to the washstop.
Yeah, we were waiting this thing.
In the washstop,
I
yeah.
was looking for my life vest.
But it was, it was really pretty, we didn't catch any fish there in the washstop, I think. Because we don't fish like a quarter of a mile up, 'cause the water was pretty high,
Yeah.
but it's a beautiful river. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just.
I'd love to go back there.
Yeah, I'd love to go back up there. So that might be a club trip back up there. We just kind of get our access points, take our own kayaks and stuff out there.
Yeah, with lower water.
Yeah, with low water, I think it'll be fine. Because I think that kind of the mode is in low water is you kind of like Jared was talking about this beam. You kayak, like, get out and fish, kayak, out and fish, yeah.
I
And,
wanna, they talk about a trip, and you mentioned the name of it, I think it's Crooked Creek.
Uh-huh.
It's up near the White River, but it's
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
Because if you were up there and, you get blown out on the creek, you could still trout fish.
That's like a well-known smallmouth.
I'm,
I stayed on Crooked Creek in winter,
yeah,
about 5 years
Big
ago.
footbox, right?
Right where it comes into the, was about a mile from where it empties into the White.
Mhm.
And my wife and I stayed in a place there, but it was in the winter time. And I'm trying to remember the season, they don't catch them there. No, that's just the rainbows. The rainbows in the Crooked Creek come up at certain times of the year and you can catch them, but the smallmouth, it's like the place to go.
yeah, I've fished it 4 or 5 times.
Oh, do
I fished it last
Don't ever
May.
go with
May.
me.
I went May
Never
with,
get a rain
Ted.
poison, I get.
Catch lionfish.
Oh,
Every
man,
time.
what we had,
Yeah, and see, I would suggest like.
Were you waiting?
Tad,
Were you waiting?
No, we floated,
Y'all floated it?
Yeah.
What time of the year was it?
it's May. Last May.
And see, I've always
that's-
waited it.
Yeah.
I think the most I've ever called there, I think I called 11 one morning
Yeah.
there. But other than, I've been skunked there, I've called 1 or 2 there, you know, and so with a guy, I mean, you wasn't that far, just, hire Tad for, split with somebody and do a trip.
It'd be a great place to go, cause you could do that and then you could still go and catch browns and rainbows.
And like I say,
Right
if-
there.
the thing is, if you go with Tad, is if you get blown, I mean, if it's blown out, he guides trout fish.
Right.
So you have the guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can go, that's what we told him, I said, whatever, if we get blown out next year, we'll go trout, so he's good for that, so.
And Aaron this was why we added, the White River drainage, in southern Missouri, it's really good smallmouth fishing around the Branson area.
Yeah, he has some
So it's
nice.
good, yeah, nice.
But that's another 3 hours, two and a half.
About an hour from Colorado.
From Mount Holmes, about an hour.
Yeah.
Well, no, from where y'all were fishing though.
Oh, yeah.
It's about-
Watchdog,
3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours.
I think it's about like a little moat.
And then there's a good place just north of there, just into Missouri, where Keith wanted us to go up. Cause I was gonna go in, I guess it was gonna be on, just before school started, go with him. And, but he said it's better to go up further north of him, right there, just inside. Tell me the river.
Is that, what's one that, like Beaver? On that other lake that's not Tanacoma, it's over to the west, and Eureka Springs, that lake. Beaver Lake, yeah.
So anyway, it was a fun trip and like I said, I don't know that we need to do that again like we did, but I think we know enough about it now that we could, like the Watchdog, we got a pretty decent trip. It'd be a fun float, and you're gonna catch fish, and it's a lot.
I like to do what we did again, better conditions.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We
had tough conditions.
Yeah, fishing with them was fun. I mean, it's, I think of that group, Dwayne was the one who wanted to fish, Dwayne fished the whole time. Which is fine, the guy's a super nice guy, and we learned a lot. And he's the man.
how to do it.
He's also a really good artist.
Oh, yeah.
He gave us a print, in fact, I'm getting my print frame.
Yeah, he's the one,
Really
he's the artist, right? He's the guy that's got-
Yeah, he has his gallery, Mount Home, there,
Yeah, right.
highway, it's.
He was our guest at the last Blackfish, January a year ago.
Yeah, I did one, we did one watercolor, I got one of those.
They gave us one of those $10 beta creek crawlers too.
Yeah, those creek, did you have any of those with
Yeah.
bass and around? Yeah.
Jim's got some.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought a couple for a pattern, and I walked up to the counter, it was all out, it's like, it's closed now. He said, that'd be 20 or 50. So why don't I have 2 flies? He said, well, yeah, but $10 each.
Wow. What they were is not.
I assume that's what that is,
Which one, creek crawl?
The crawfish there.
Oh, yeah.
It's not an easy time,
yeah.
it's not an easy time.
Is that as far south as Smallmouth?
They are in,
I caught some at 10 killer in Oklahoma, but I didn't know how far south they.
where we were in Mena, where there's a lake there, just halfway between, not far north of Texas County, but there are some small.
There's in the lower mountain part, it's full of small.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
Yeah,
Northern Alabama has them.
Oklahoma, and then West Texas has a lake down in the rivers. Except for the Devil's River, the Devil's River is the furthest south within. So it's right also. All small.
You have those.
Pecos does.
Yeah, Pecos does.
It's not far north, not down south.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So, but,
Alabama, Georgia.
working hard. Check to go with a guy or somebody, so goes on.
Yeah, Arkansas.
So there's Devil's River guy, he used to live in northern Mississippi.
We lost it in.
All right, Robert, is that all you have?
Yeah.
All right, well, we can adjourn if y'all are.
Yeah.
All right, thank
Aaron, good to see you, man. Are you in country
Good night,
tonight?
Bill.
Are you in country tonight?
I am. I decided to fish today, so
Uh-oh,
I
that's
head
why I
out
saw that-
tomorrow morning.
That's why I saw that yellow bass there. Okay, cool.
It
All right,
took
good
all
deal, man.
day, but Yeah, but yeah, I head out tomorrow. So
All right, well, take
But
care
anyway,
out there. Safe
good
travels.
luck down in New Orleans.
All right, thanks.